Hey everybody, you know what time it is. It's time for
Books to Back.
Hey there everybody, welcome back. Oh my goodness, has been too long. As I promised on my Comic Book Insiders show, Comic Book Insiders channel, I promised you guys that I would start doing more videos. As I described in there, and if you are not a follower over there, please go over. Please look for it. I will put I'll put a link in the description below. But it's Comic Book Insiders by Force One Studios. Just like this one, just like Books to Back by Force One Studios, it's Comic Book Insiders by Force One Studios. What I was describing in there was I was explaining to people that unfortunately for me, I suffer from an extreme anxiety, also extreme depression, stifling from post-traumatic stress. I've been trying to get this under control, and as a result, I have been, let's say for lack of a better term, I have been very not diligent, I guess you could say, very slacking in being able to complete a lot of the tasks that I need to get forward my message or forward my company any further. I've been working on trying to go to conventions a lot lately. I've been putting a lot of time into Sheer Force, which is a subsidiary of Force One Studios. It's the comic book side. On Comic Book Insiders, that's basically what I'm going to be covering a lot of in there. I got to do a video on that one shortly as well. But also I got to start making some Lilly sketch patches, which means I'm going to have to start doing some artwork again. I have not been very diligent in doing my artwork as of lately. And a lot of that stems from anxiety, depression, and symptoms of my PTSD. But anyway, I'm back. I'm here to do this do this again and try to make things good. And I just realized I have not putting on my the link for this down there. I just realized there's the link scrolling by. But good news is that link that you see in there, that is my Sheer Force Comics store. You can go on there and take a look at what I have on there. I'm about ready to change it up, guys. Right now it is June 26th. As of June 30th, there's going to be a large, massive takedown. Basically, I'm going to be taking down a lot of the materials that I have already on that site. Okay, on my store, and I'm going to be putting up new materials. I'm going to be gathering stuff up. Probably not by June 30th. I would say probably by July 2nd, because June 30th is going to be me just digging through the mountains of boxes of comic books I have, finding the ones that I want to put up on the website, the key issues. I'm going to be changing how I do things. I'm not going to be putting up the dollar books anymore on the eBay site. eBay is too expensive to do that. If I do sell dollar books, they're going to be in bundles and bulks, but they're not going to be individuals. All right, because the fees are killing me. Between the fees and the shipping, the cost of the materials to ship it. While I love being able to give great presentation when you receive it, and those who have bought from me will know what I'm talking about. I put the book in a bubble wrap. I give you stickers, these wonderful little stickers that of Sheer Force Comics, and beautiful receipt covered with the two cardboard on either side, giving it additional protection, and a nice cardboard comic book shipping in there. I mean, it's all really well presented, really well done, and it's to give my customers a great feeling that, hey, you bought from a quality seller, that's somebody who's looking out for you, and making sure that the item you buy stays in great condition. And it's enough. I guess it should be. That's enough of me talking about Sheer Force Comics, because this is not what you're here for. This is for Books to Back. Now with Books to Back, I got 3 today. I wanted to get these 3 out because their closing dates are coming up quickly. As you can see here on this one, actually this one's got 19 days left, but for funding. It's an Indiegogo project, which is pretty cool. It looks really good. Looks really interesting. It's Shane Davis's Annatomic. Welcome to the Arena Comics. Okay, so exploding from the pages of Inglorious Rex comes the story of fan favorite fighter Annatomic. Fan favorite Annatomic. I'll be honest with you, I haven't read Inglorious Rex. Sorry, Shane. I have not read any of your stuff before, but I'll take it from your I'll take your word for it that this is a fan favorite of the people that read your books before. But the thing I liked about this is this person actually takes the time to make sure they have decent artwork, which is awesome. It's great artwork. And as an artist, that's one of my biggest things. I mean, I love a good story. Don't get me wrong. Nothing like getting a book that where the artwork's great, but the story is just very lackluster. So, I mean, the combination, that's the key. You have to have a combination of those things. Great artwork and great storytelling. I mean, as we can see what's going on with the mainstream comics right now, Marvel and DC. The books are not doing as well as they should be, and a lot of that has to do while they have great artwork. They made sure the artwork was there, the storytelling was lackluster, and a lot of people start going down that whole woke agenda thing. And while that might fly for a lot of places, it's not flying for entertainment. People want to use this entertainment as an escape from everyday reality, things being shoved in their face. I mean, I get it. You want to make people aware, you want to make people understand your point of view, but when somebody's looking for mindless entertainment, we're looking for mindless entertainment. Hello. Looking for books. I think something we lost in today's reality is books, movies, TV, entertainment is for entertainment. It is so we can escape. It's an escapism. Don't get me wrong. There is a place in this world for that. I mean, there are medias that are sitting there. A lot of them are set at one point in time. Or there are a few here that are set for to make people aware, but it can't be all awareness. Where is the I just want to escape this reality for the moment because it's burning me out and it's making me tired. It's making my anxiety flare up. It's making me depressed. Go on the news and getting a face full of every day. We just need mindless entertainment. Okay, guys? Mindless entertainment. That's what we need. So anyway, that brings me back to Shane Davis's Annatomics. I don't know if this is mindless entertainment, but the project looked good from what I read. Okay, so we're gonna go in here. Annatomics Welcome to the Arena is a 40-page graphic novel written by Shane Davis and Janzi Lin and illustrated by Anthony Gonzalez Clark. Set approximately 2 years before the events of Inglorious Rex #1, we're plunging headfirst into the grimy, neon-drenched depths of the city that forged Inglorious Rex. A wild, untamed, urban sprawl pulsing with danger and attitude. The prequel zeroes in on young Annatomics, a fierce, street-smart scrapper clawing her way through the concrete jungle years before she claims her throne as a legendary Rex pilot. Brace yourself for a gritty, no-holds-barred tale that peels back the layers of her origin, navigates the chaotic maze of this electric city, and squares off against the cold-blooded crime syndicates running the show. Now, I'm going to tell you, as I said before, I just scrolled through a lot of this and looked at the artwork, and this stuff looks really, really good. I mean, look at this. This is professional work. Clean lines, clean panels, clean storytelling, very enjoyable, very easy to follow, even though it's action-packed. I mean, it's easy to draw action, but still keep the lines clear to appropriately tell the story. It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, and then it shows you a cover one, the Inglorious Rex, lined edition. Annatomics, there's the cover. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and do something real quick while we're doing this. Give me one moment, because it's only fair to do this. Copy. I'm going to go ahead and Command C. And I'm going to go over here. Where are we at? 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 Email scroll. There we go. Nope, that's not the one. Not the email scroll. Website scroll. Link. There we go. Command B. There you go. Good. All right. So we're in there. Yeah, in there like Flint. In there like Flint. So it's changed. Cool beans. Good stuff. All right, so that's the link. It's scrolling next to my head right over here to the to this wonderful website. You can write it down if you wish, or as I said before, I will be putting a link in the description below. Okay, so but this is a great story. It looks to me like it's a great story. Great ideas. Incredible artwork. Look at this stuff. I love the cover work. Again, great stuff. $232. 9 Lives Comics. Obviously a cat lover. 9 Lives Cats. Get it? Really good stuff, as I said before, and looks like they got some pretty good perks over here as well. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at all this. Okay, let's see. Choosing for perks, you have the Dale Sup HC sketch, $195. There you go. So I'm assuming you get those 3 books there and a sketch. Go ahead and take a look at that a little bit better. 1 Annatomics, Welcome to Arena, Dale Keown cover. I knew that artwork looked great. Dale Keown, man. I've been a fan of his since the 90s. Actually, since the 80s. Since he first started working on Dragon Ring. Oh, Dragon Ring, and then became Dragon Ring to Dragon Force, which I will admit is the driving force behind my Force One Studios. Force, I just love that name, Force. And then one of my friends, whenever I go on one of his broadcasts, he always calls me, "Hey, Force, how you doing?" Anyway, Annatomics, Welcome to Arena, Dale Keown cover, plus 1 supplemental book, Volume 4, plus 1 Indigenous Rex line art cover, hardcover edition, Volume 1. Your books and sketch will be bagged and boarded, then shipped in a Gemini mailer. All right, so that's just for that one. Then they also have another little perk in here. It's 9 Lives Comics shot glass. For those of you who are drinkers, I used to drink from a shot glass every once in a while, but I just can't get into the alcohol anymore. The beer, the alcohol, it's just not my thing. No. I didn't like the taste. So anyways, take a look at this perk. Yep, includes one 9 Lives Comics logo shot glass. All right, and that's $12 for that bad boy. Then you got the Race Car 232. Race Car 232, $12 USD. 232 die-cast metal race car. This car comes on a card. Okay. So it basically is like Hot Wheels card, which is really cool. Packaging, nice. All right, so you can get that for $12, or for $25 you get the Dale Keown cover. Dale Keown cover. Annatomics welcomes to the arena Dale Keown cover. The work will be bagged and boarded, then shipped in a Gemini mailer. Main book, Dale Keown. And then the Anthony cover. This is the alternate cover. Anthony cover for $25. And then you have the supplemental book volume 4. Glorious Rex. Oof, sorry, didn't mean to yawn on you guys there. And that gets you one supplemental $25. So basically they're $25 for each book, depending on the cover you like. Beast Mode. And doesn't tell you who the artist is in the Beast Mode covers, but your choice, what you like. And then they also have, oh, cool, they have a 232 race car signed. So basically you get the race car, the 232 race car, signed from a Glorious Rex. That's pretty cool. And then a Heroes Con Alex and 232 cover. So I guess this was from the Heroes Con. Heroes Con Inglorious Rex 1A. Alex and 232 cover. Your books will be bagged and boarded, then shipped in a Gemini mailer. Alright, Heroes Con line art cover. That's one place I didn't get to go this time, was Heroes Con. Well, that's because I had a convention that I had to do locally. But hey, it's alright. If you guys want to, you can go, a link again in the description below, go to my website. You see all comic book cons that I will be coming up, that I'll be doing, that I'll be coming up on. I do comic book comic cons as Sheer Force Comics, but I also include some original artwork in there as well by me and other artists under Force One Studios. You can always check that out for yourself if you want, and it's www.force1studios.com/updates. That's right, updates. It gives you up-to-date timeline of what my the comic book conventions that I've signed up currently and for the next year or so. All right, try to make sure I keep it up to date on a regular basis. I will admit it's tough because I'm a one-man show between doing Sheer Force Comics, trying to do Force One Studios, because I'm still working on Zoomberg, the first comic book that I will be publishing, and then also just trying to do these videos, trying to do everything. I mean, that's the reason why I've been falling. One of the reasons why I've been falling by is when you get overwhelmed, it doesn't help your anxiety any better. And I was getting it wrong. Anyway, so we got Heroes Con Inglorious Rex cover here, again for $25. They keep them reasonable. I mean, very reasonably priced. Then you got the Dale Keown supplement. All right, Dale Keown supplemental. 1 Annatomics Welcome to the Arena Dale Keown plus a supplemental book volume 4. Your cover will be bagged and boarded, then shipped in Gemini mailer. Line art cover, 6 line artwork, and 1 Inglorious Rex line art hardcover edition volume 1. Your book will be bagged, then shipped in Gemini mailer. Then they have the head sketch for $85. Oh. Then let's see, what else do we have in here? Oh my goodness. Somebody trying to call me on my phone. Sorry about that, folks. Didn't want to be hearing that all while I'm doing this. Dale Keown, another Dale Keown cover, but this time it is graded. Wow, CGC graded. or CCG, CG, isn't it? Should be CGC, not CCG. Let's just, yeah, CGC. I don't know why they did that, but ooh, look at me going and clicking on that. Ooh, get myself in trouble. I will probably be back in this book, especially with the Dale Keown cover, because I'm a big Dale Keown fan. I'm probably going to get in that bad boy. Probably, I shouldn't say probably. I will be getting that bad boy. Dale Keown. Love Dale Keown. But anyway, 9 Lives comic book catch-up pack. So, you get the main book, Dale Keown, Dale cover, Inglorious Rex 1 reprint, Inglorious Rex 2 Dale cover, Starlight Catch 1 reprint, and Ascend Level Up number 1. So this allows you to become all caught up in the whole storyline and the artwork. It'd be really wonderful if it was Dale Keown doing the interior work too. I wonder if he's doing any of the interior artwork. Probably not, but still. Some great stuff in there. Really good stuff. So you go through all of this and go through all the perks, and that's great stuff. I can't keep staying on this because obviously I'm already 21 minutes and 30 seconds in on this video, and talking about a whole bunch of stuff, and I've got 2 more of these to go through with you guys. All right, so if you guys can, please check this out. As I said before, the links to these will be in the description below, and you check them out for yourself. And you know, you're as appreciated before, as I've always said before in previous videos, your contributions are appreciated. Now, I am not affiliated or linked with this in any way, shape, or form, so I'm not being paid for this. I am just trying to give people heads up on what these different projects that are out there right now, currently under crowdfunding. It seems like crowdfunding's starting to null out a bit. There's been quite a few people who have done crowdfunding campaigns and not followed through, not put together their projects, and people felt jilted. So some people are backing away from these projects. But obviously, this is tried, true, and blue, proven. This guy has done this before. He's had several 9 campaigns, all of them successful, and all obviously has with 9 Lives Comics has proven himself. So it's a great way for, as I said, for independent artists, independent creators to come out with books. Now there are some people. I have one friend of mine says I'll back it once, but I'm not going to back it every single book. After the first time, you should be able to stand on your own 2 feet, create your own product, and I should not have to fund your project. But he doesn't. What he doesn't get, because he doesn't follow this immensely, is that for some people, this is the one way, aside from going to conventions, that they put their product out. It's just the way for them to get their product out there. It covers their printing costs, a little bit extra money for themselves, and then they start going to touring conventions, selling their stuff. I've run into one gentleman already. I was standing across from him, and this is where he sold a lot of his books. I mean, he may have them a few local comic book stores, but he doesn't go through your usual supplier chain to comic book stores, and because it's expensive. You're trying to create a product. It's not a cheap product. It's not something that, unless you're printing on a large scale, that comes out easy, that has low cost, and you're trying to keep your costs as low as possible. Cost as low as possible, so that when you can keep your price points to the customer as close as possible, and make them feel like they've gotten their money's worth, and make sure that the book is well worth the read. It's not an easy thing to do, especially these days when the number of followers, the number of comic book readers has dwindled quite a bit. The great thing about the recent comic book conventions I've been going to is I've been noticing that a lot of the parents are starting to bring their kids to these conventions. The ones that are avid readers, trying to get their young ones into this, and hopefully bringing in new, fresh generation of readers, because that's what this industry desperately needs. I don't want to see comic books fall to the wayside. I don't think it will. I mean, it might change in adaptation in some way, shape, or form, but everybody's been threatening that the sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, that it's going to crush, it's going to go away, it's never going to be a true form of reading from now on. But it's storytelling by artwork. I mean, that's it. That's been going around since cave paintings, so I can't see it going anywhere. Maybe it'll become all digital one day, but I don't know. There's something about the tactile feeling of having a book in your hand, smelling the book, the printed, the ink on the pages, having that book in your collection, and then maybe one day selling your collection off, hopefully for a profit, not for a loss, but at least getting back some of your money if you do sell for a loss. But always being able to, but always also for many of us, always being able to have that in there in your private collection that you can always go back to and reread over and over and over and over again for that wonderful escapism that I was talking about. So anyway, if you guys get a chance to check this out, go to Shane Davis Annatomics. Welcome to the Arena comic. All right, and that's and the cover's done by Dale Keown. I knew that artwork looked familiar. Oh man, I love Dale Keown's work. So anyway, let's go to the next one. Now this one's only got 18 days left. 18 days left on it, and this one's on Kickstarter, not on Indiegogo. This is called InFlux. Again, some pretty good looking artwork on here. I don't know why this one's not doing so great with 18 days left to go, only 12 backers. But I'm hoping maybe if I put this out there and get more people seeing it, that this will help this guy out. All right, because this looks like a pretty good book. They were changed. Now they're better, faster, stronger. Their lives are constantly in flux. InFlux. All right. As I said, 18 days left. They're looking for a goal of $3,000 to get this printed. So let's see what the story says. InFlux. InFlux is a thrilling 4-issue comic book miniseries that follows Kyle and Naomi Riker, a young couple whose lives are forever changed after a near-fatal accident caused by a rogue experiment. To save them, a corporation replaced their body parts with cutting-edge technology, transforming them into Army and Flash Kick. Army and Flash Kick. They become cyborgs. A lot of cyborgs. I got some cyborgs in my story. Very similar storylines. But anyway, it's hard to come up with anything new, isn't it? But anyway. But yeah, I always like taking a look and see what somebody's twist. They say twist to the adventure, twist to the story. See how they come up with their version, their idea. So anyway, let's go. Let's look at these look at these pages. Again, very reasonable, very clean artwork, good stuff. Loving it. Uh-oh. Somebody's in the road. Uh-oh. Boom, crunch, and the car flips. I guess that's the rogue experiment. Yep. And they're stuck in their car, and their car is falling off the bridge, and now they're in surgery. And so there we go. There's some of the artwork. I'm not going to try to read that small, tiny print. I'm sorry. That makes me a bad guy. But, we'll read the descriptions in between the pages. They're faster, stronger, better, but at what cost? Army and Flash Kick are now cyborg, constantly evolving and adapting as they navigate their new reality. Struggling to control their newfound abilities, they embark on a desperate mission to find the experiment that caused their accident, a rogue entity known as Red. Uh-oh. A known entity known as Red. Uh-oh. Red's not a good-looking guy. I'm a good guy, obviously. I mean, look, he's going into a house. He's going into this, he's in front of this house, and he's going into this house, and this girl's like, what's going on? Ding dong, ding dong. And then I guess he's saying something to this girl, Eliza. What? And she's sitting there, and all of a sudden, crunch, squish. So obviously, he did not do anything nice to her head. Ouch. That's not good stuff. Okay, so InFlux is a story about second chances, extraordinary abilities, and the fight against a system that creates monsters. With your help, we can bring this action-packed miniseries to life. That's a big thing. And then we have Keneela is a freelance illustrator and educator. His work in comics includes color manager for DC Comics and senior colorist at Hi-Fi Design. Titles Keneela has worked on includes Superman, Wonder Woman, Tangent, Superman Reign, and Teen Titans Go. For DC, X-Men, that's for DC. X-Men Unlimited Ultimate Adventures and Marvel Knights, $2,099 for Marvel, and Invincible and I Hate Gallant Girl for Image Comics. Woo! There's some big name titles in there, boy. Invincible, you got Marvel, DC, some big name titles in there. So, that's the reason why the work is looking very professional and very clean and very good. All right, so then we have Theo Lee is the artist. Theo is a self-taught illustrator, sculptor, and industrial artist. His work includes sculpting modeling kits for Belkin USA and producing licensed Toho characters, Godzilla and Bishes. Okay, I'm not even going to try. I'm hoping that's not. But anyway. Always eager to learn, he has attended numerous comic book conventions to meet and learn from artists, writers, and other industrial professionals. He has collaborated with the late Herb Trimp and is currently, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is Trimp or Trimp? Trimp. And is currently working with Joe Rubenstein on various projects. And you have TB Long as the letterist. Or TB. Tom B. Long. Tom started his comic career in the late 1900s as a pre-press production monkey for Wildstorm Productions. He went on to letter, color, and design various titles for IDW, Image, Oni, Dark Horse, DC, Annatomics Publishing, and other independents. He was awarded the Tom B. Long Excellence in Lettering Award from Transmissions Transformers Podcast number 5 years in a row. Yeah, podcast 5 years in a row. Easy when he was the only one lettering TF Comics. Making fun of himself. Today still wants to be friends to help them. Still wanted by friends to help them move. He survives as a comic book nobody. If you have a book, if no one else will letter it cheaply, and if you can find him, maybe you can hire the nobody. Self-advertising there, guys. That's a great way to do it. Don't sell yourself cheaply, though, Tom B. Long. Don't sell yourself cheaply. And then we have the editor, Krista Colette. I tried to get myself an editor, a guy who worked in the industry, who knows about the industry. But because as a person with ADHD, it's compounded my PTSD. Anyway, for my depression and my anxieties, the editor, that person that I hired on as the editor, I had to quickly cut him free as the editor because he was unwilling to push me. And I need, as somebody with ADHD, I need somebody who will push me to get the project done, push me to get the artwork done. And I'm hoping I will find somebody to replace him, because that's something I need. I need somebody to keep me organized, keep my thoughts straight, and make sure they keep me geared towards one thing, to completing goals and tasks. I used to have that when I was working for a company. I was manager at another company. My supervisor above me, I was a multitasking master, but only because the person who was working above me was able to keep me on a straight line. So, okay, you're going to need to work on this, Tom, because this guy get done now. Then we'll put that back, and then we'll get that tomorrow. And then we'll get this, and I need you to do these 2 projects today. You're going to start in the morning with this one and start in the afternoon with that one. And you got to get them done before they're going to give me deadlines. That's what I need, organization. Anyway, Krista Collette, editor. Krista is a freelance editor and indie writer. She reads, writes, and edits sci-fi, fantasy, and romance of the spicy persuasion. Krista currently publishes under a pen name at medium.com and Kindle Villa. And then you have the color assistant, Sean Zenter. Alright, so these are the different people involved in this project, and as I said, this project looks very, 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 very good. You also have the risks. Like any comic book project, we face potential challenges in production, distribution, and supply chain. To mitigate production risks, we've strategically launched this crowdfunding campaign only after completing the primary artwork. So the primary artwork is great. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to put out any campaigns without having the artwork ready to go, at least 90% done, because that's it. Get tripped up easy. Anyway, that ADH, that coffee I drank is kicking in. Woo! Anyway, see, Coffee Shop Comics. Perfect. Coffee Shop Comics. Ooh. All right, so Coffee Shop Comics is a comic book at tabletop game company from Hawaii. Kailua, Hawaii. I hope I'm pronouncing some of this stuff right. I can't read properly. But you can do a $1 pledge. That's a great thing with Kickstarter is I don't have the money to buy this. I'm going to pledge $6. I'll give you $5. Well, actually, with $5, you get a perk. But I don't want to give you $5, so I can give you $4. I can give you $3. I can give you $2. I can give you $1. Something to kick it along, right? So, and Kickstarter gives you that option. Okay, contributing without getting a perk, which is always appreciated by the creator. That means they don't have to provide you anything. I mean, you could go ahead and donate $200 without getting a perk, but why not get something out of your contribution? But again, that's all in your choice. So anyway, Tier 1, InFlux, 1 digital edition for $5. Tier 2, Gimme the Comic, a standard cover of our comic signed by both the series writer Kanalo Tripp and the artist Theo Lee for $10. Very reasonably priced. Tier 3, Gimme the alternate cover for $50. You got an alternate cover. Okay, and then you have Tier 4, Gimme Everything. You can get everything for $100. Alright, so those are the tiers. They keep them very simple, very minimalistic. Not a whole bunch of gimmies, not a whole bunch of wraparounds. Of course, as a independent publisher and starting, and sometimes you gotta keep that KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. My wife keeps telling me that. Keep it simple, stupid. Stop going too far. And I go too far. As I'm doing with this video. I'm already 39 minutes into this video. So, not to try to rush along with InFlux, but this is a great looking project. Again, the link will be in the description below. But to further this along, I probably should have done this from the get-go. We'll go in here. Where are you at? 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 Link. There we go. Should have done that from the get-go, huh? So that's the link that's scrolling through now. It's messing up everything on my There we go. All right, so it's at www.kickstarter.com/projects/coffee shop comics. Coffee shop comics. InFlux/InFlux. That link obviously will be in the description below, as I said before, along with a bunch of million other links to my projects, to my stuff, and to these projects, and keep you all informed. Please, 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 please. Also, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share. I love that little thought bubble thing. Right there in the old temple. Anyway, let's go to the next project, shall we? Battlepug! Now, I love this. Do you ever seen a pug? These little guys are so cute. Little tiny dogs, smushed in faces. A teacher of mine when I was in high school, 30, 40 years ago, had a pug, used to bring it in with him. He was a horticulture teacher. I guess he taught sciences, but anyway, he also owned a comic book store, which was cool. Captain Blue Hen Comics years ago. He's not owner of it now, he retired, but years ago he was one of the original owner, the starter of the comic book store, I believe. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead, and before I get rolling on this, because I haven't done this so far, and I've been very, very, very lax on it, I am going to go ahead and change that now, because that is the appropriate thing to do. There we go. And we're going to change that, put that like that. There we go. No. Okay. You're just determined to make my life a little harder, aren't you? And we'll hold that. See if that allows me. Yes, there we go. And boop, there we go. Champion wins. Champion wins. I changed it. Shrank it or blew it up a little bit. So anyway, you can go to this link, this wonderful link to find this wonderful project. And please, if you find you like it, go ahead and back it. And now the interesting thing with Indiegogo, the difference between Indiegogo and Kickstarter, you got to remember, with Kickstarter, you got to reach your goal. Otherwise, the project does not get funded. So you got to reach that goal. Indiegogo, they have an option. They have a flex pay, where some projects are, the creators are like, unless I meet my goal, I'm not going to be able to publish this. But others like, okay, well, this is a flex pay thing. I'm going to do a flex pay thing because I already have all the other stuff ready to go, the artwork ready to go, everything's ready to go. So all I need is money for publishing, to print the book, and if only 25 issues get printed, then only 25 issues get printed. But at least I got my project out there type thing, scenario, so that's what they do. But with Kickstarter, completely different animal. Unless it is completed, or unless it's completely funded, you don't get your money. And you don't get charged. Remember that. Unless it gets funded, you don't get charged. But that doesn't give license to, please don't do that whole, let me contribute then back out. Contribute then back out. Let's not screw these people around, screw these people over. I mean, there are legitimate creators out there, and obviously this guy looks like a legitimate creator because he has done this before from what I've read on this one. Battlepug, Cosmic Doggies. Odysseys, Doggies. Get it? I thought it was cute. An all-new original graphic novel continuing the award-winning comic book series. Woo-hoo-hoo! A brand new tale of blood and droll. Battlepug. Prepare for an absurd, action-packed journey across the cosmos with Battlepug Cosmic Doggacy. Continuing Mike Norton's Eisner and Harvey award-winning fantasy comedy that delivers the perfect blend of sword and sorcery, humor, and heart. Battlepug began as an effort to make a story Mike could draw whatever he wanted in. 12 years, 5 collections, and 1 compendium and a comic series later, the outrageous fantasy action adventure comedy returns with a brand new original graphic novel about a magical barbarian and his giant dog. You can even catch up on the story of Battlepug at battlepug.com or get the collection of imagecomics at imagecomics.com. After 2 successful series at Dark Horse and Image Comics, we're trying something new with what we hopefully becomes a new publishing model. In this exciting new volume, the last Kinmundian and his Kinmundian and his furry giant friend must mend the very fabric of existence while fighting powerful new old enemies and even making a few new friends. But this ain't a serious book. Expect plenty of hilarious antics and weird characters and explosive world-hopping fun. Now, the cool thing of it is, as I said before, what I liked about it is not only is it a fun story, it looks just absolutely gloriously fun. It's won awards and it's done very well, but it's some really cool artwork. I love this guy's style. Look at this. It's like a combination. It's got like a cartoony-ish feel to it, but better. So you check that out you guys check that out for yourself. That was my son leaving for work or leaving for school. But anyway, yeah, it's you look at some of these pages. It's some really cool stuff. Mike Norton. These are some of who's made this comic book. Mike Norton, Ellen Pasqua. I am not going to even try. I'm sorry. Alan Pass. I'm gonna call you Pass because I'm not even gonna try the rest of that. Crank and Rafer Roberts. Oh, I really need people to Google would actually probably help me with that. I ain't got time for that. Anyway, so these are different things. With what do you get for 15 digital? You get for the $15, you get the digital early bird special signed deluxe hardcover with digital copy for $35. Woo! Signed deluxe hardcover with digital copy for $40. So that was the early. If you got in early, and it looks like getting in early is not an option anymore. It was the early bird special. Some people are doing that, and it's not in there anymore. So too late for the early bird. So now it'd be $40. Then for $60 you get a sign and remarqued deluxe hardcover with and print with digital copy. And then you get a retail special 5 signed hardcovers. This is for the retailers only. A limit of 10. Cool. I love those retailer things because I can buy into that as a retailer, as a reseller myself. I can buy into those things and sell this price for people on my store, which I'm most likely going to do with this one. So anyway, and then signed and remarqued deluxe 8 hardcover print and screen print with digital copy for $100. So you got these different tiers, and I'm not going to read through all of them because there's a lot in here for you to read too. The tiers. I love that. There's Deadpool at the bottom says, "You did say bite me." No, you're right. My bad. You guys gotta check this out. I mean, it's a good looking project. Plenty of good work, good tiers in here. You check them out for yourself. All right. I'm now almost an hour into this one, and it's an hour long. And who's going to sit through an hour long video? They tell you try to keep it 15 minutes, but I am showing 3 different projects, so you guys got to check it out. All right, and check it out. I will, in the video publishing, I will obviously go ahead and put some links in the video as well on YouTube, so people can check it out for themselves. And it'll be in the descriptions, and I'm gonna try to put it throughout the video. Anyway, it is time for me to rock and roll, folks. I thank you very much for joining me. I am back. I'm going to be better than ever, and I'm going to get these videos out more frequently. I'm trying to plan my videos and plan my work. As they say, plan your work or plan to fail. I'm planning my work. Anyway, thank you very much. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Why is my pointer not going over to the right place? There we go. That's why, because I'm on the wrong computer screen. Bye.
Hey everybody, just want to thank you today for joining me on
Books to Back.
Also, don't forget to go to Kickstarter and Indiegogo to support the independent publishing movement. Also, you can support these phenomenal artists and creators by purchasing merchandise and artwork from the following locations: